Okay, I know this is a little late. I mean, it's already February, but here it goes. My top 10 of 2009. No, I'm not kidding. This is actually my top 10 of 2009. Why am I doing it now, you ask? Well, because I hadn't seen all the movies from 2009 that I wanted to until now. A lot of foreign and independent films don't even get released until the next year. For me to make my top 10 of the year without seeing all of the movies that I wanted to, just because the next year is starting, kind of makes about as much sense as—
Hi, I'm Shay, and this is the early top 10 for 2010. Okay, so we haven't seen that many movies yet. So, starting at number 4, we have The Crazies. Went to see that one in the theaters. There was plenty wrong with it, but in the end, it was somewhat entertaining. So I guess it gets its number 4 spot. Next, we've got Daybreakers at number 3. Not really a good movie, terribly flawed, but not much selection. So we'll leave it at number 3. In second, we've got How to Train Your Dragon. I hate animated movies, and it was terribly flawed, but the plot convenience were actually kind of funny, so I guess number 2. And I love the fact that the Scottish people had the accents, and then the kids, they all didn't. They were all speaking regular American accents. That was hilarious. And then at number 1, I guess we got Shutter Island. It's not a particularly good movie, but it's a Martin Scorsese movie. I guess that just wins it automatically.
Making a top 10 of the year video is already complicated enough. I mean, The Hurt Locker is technically 2008, but according to the Academy Awards, it's 2009. And Departures is 2008, but according to Roger Ebert, it's 2009. So if I'm a little inconsistent with the release year, then boohoo. You guys are probably gonna hate me a lot during this review. Because you're so predictable, I'm assuming there's gonna be a lot of, how could you not have a top 10 of 2009 list without Avatar, or Pandora, or District 9, or Inglourious Basterds spelt wrong, or Up. And you know, I actually own all of these movies.
On Blu-ray!
Experience our movies on Blu-ray. This is how our movies are meant to be lived.
They just weren't good enough to make my top 10 of 2009. With these types of lists, I try to make balance between how much I actually enjoy the movie and the fun I had while I watched it, and how flawless and expertly crafted it is. So regardless of whether or not you actually agree with my opinions during this video, we're off to start this list of my top 10 films of 2009. That's right, 2009. The year of 9, 9, and District 9. The year that 2 Academy Award-nominated animated features had comic relief animal characters with electronic devices attached to them in order for them to speak English.
Lord Master, and he made me this collar so that I may talk. Squirrel!
Monkey thought translator.
Hungry.
How wise.
Hungry.
Enough with this bullshit, I just thought it was interesting. To start off my top 10 list, at number 16 we have, yeah, that's right, 16. At number 16 we have Hunger, written and directed by Steve McQueen. No, not dead Steve McQueen, black Steve McQueen. This impressively constructed debut feature shows the last 6 weeks in the life of Irish Republican hunger striker Bobby Sands. With the level of skill that it took to make this movie, it's honestly hard to believe that this is Steve McQueen's first. I mean, the movie features an ideological debate between 2 characters that goes on for 23 minutes, 17 and a half of those minutes being all in one record-breaking shot. That's fucking crazy! It is very different, so I wouldn't recommend it to everyone, but if you're quite fond of the Criterion Collection, then you're probably gonna like this movie. At number 15, we have Collapse, a documentary from the director of American Movie. A lot of people might pass this movie off as a conspiracy movie, but Michael Rupert actually addresses a lot of real issues in this film. Even if you don't agree with or believe what's being said, it's sure to at least start up a conversation after the film. I'd recommend this movie to pretty much everybody.
The first thing that the uneducated mind that's in denial says, well, what about hydrogen? Can't we make electric cars? And I have to bring them back to the fact that there's 7 gallons of oil in every tire, that there are thousands of gallons of oil in every car, and the plastics, the paints, the resins, everything, all of that's made by oil, the oil that's used to manufacture the car and ship it around to heat the metals, et cetera, et cetera. There will never be 800 million electric-powered vehicles, and electricity is not an energy source. The electricity is generated by burning or using some other kind of energy.
At number 14, we have A Town Called Panic, directed by some French people. It's fucking awesome! The main character's an anatomically correct horse. And the plot is, well, everything. It's a movie where they just throw away reality and it works. This isn't the type of animated movie where you're going to feel emotionally involved, but for the laughs it brings and its ability for it to not take itself too seriously, it surely deserves a spot on this list.
Oh, elle était délicieuse cette tarte. Excellent café.
At number 13, we have Mary and Max. This is definitely the type of animated movie you'll feel emotionally involved in unless you're Shay. I'm really disappointed this movie didn't get as much attention as it should have. It's refreshing to see a movie with such balls, one that can be stylized and stays true to itself. It is its own movie. There's no other movie like it. This movie stars Toni Collette and Philip Seymour Hoffman, and I'd recommend it to absolutely everybody unless your name's Shay.
Unfortunately, in America, babies are not found in cola cans. I asked my mother when I was 4, and she said they came from eggs laid by rabbis. If you aren't Jewish, they're laid by Catholic nuns. If you're an atheist, they're laid by dirty, lonely prostitutes. Last week, I picked up 128 cigarette butts. People are always littering in New York. I do not understand why people break laws. Butts are bad because they wash out to sea and fish smoke them and become nicotine dependent.
At number 12, we have Up in the Air from Jason Reitman, the director of Thank You for Smoking and Juno. This movie is not so much the romantic comedy that it was marketed as, but a great character study of a man who finds comfort in being free, not being tied down to life, always on the move. And the characters and writing are what really make this movie.
Who the fuck are you, man?
Excellent question. Who the fuck am I? Poor Steve has worked here for 7 years. He's never had a meeting with me before, or passed me in the hall, or told me a story in the break room. And that's because I don't work here. I work for another company that lends me out to pussies like Steve's boss who don't have the balls to sack their own employees. And in some cases for good reason, because people do crazy shit when they get fired.
Did I do something wrong? I mean, is there something I can do differently here?
This is not an assessment of your productivity. You gotta try not to take this personally. I'm gonna need your key card. Great. Okay. Now, I want you to take the day, go get together your personal things, and then tomorrow, you get yourself some exercise. You go out for a jog, you give yourself some routines, and pretty soon you find your legs.
How do I get in touch with you?
Don't worry, we'll be in touch with you soon. This is just the beginning. I'll never see Steve again.
At number 11, it's the Academy Award winner for Best Foreign Language Film, The Secret in Their Eyes. This movie makes for an excellent mystery drama and never steps in the wrong direction. The movie is funny, sad, action-packed, whatever it really needs to be in the moment. The best parts of the movie are its gripping story and impressively orchestrated direction, showing some really impressive one-ers.